Welcome to the Traveling Souls Sanctuary podcast. Are you a spiritual seeker who doesn't fit into traditional religion? If so, you're not alone. The Traveling Souls Sanctuary is a community for people like you. We offer a safe space to explore your spirituality, connect with like-minded individuals, and learn from experienced teachers. In this podcast, we'll discuss a variety of topics related to spirituality, including personal growth, self-discovery, spiritual practices, community, and more. We hope you'll join us on our journey as we explore the vast landscape of the spirit.
Okay, Mary, it is always a pleasure when we get together. And I am so excited for you because you are starting this new journey. And I can't wait to learn all about it. So really, I just want to dive in and learn what it is, what you're doing, how we can get involved. So just start from the beginning for me.
Yeah. So I was driving down the street one day and all of a sudden I heard you should start some kind of church. And I was like, what? Just that kind of little, intuition going on. And fast forward a bit, I ended up going to get my master's in arts and spirituality, which I just graduated from that. And part of my project was to bring that. Oh, thank you. Part of that project, part of that degree was to bring this project to life, to open a spiritual community. And so the Traveling Souls Sanctuary is this new spiritual community that I've created to really help people find their own true self, their own practice, their own connection to the divine, whatever that may be.
And that is so important, and I think the reason why you and I connect so much, and probably the people watching this right now are connecting, because it's like you believe in something bigger than yourself. And you want to have a community of people that also believe in something bigger than us as beings. But yet you don't always agree to the certain, like, everything in this religious book and everything that one, and like how this group thinks that one is wrong because it's not. And I'm like, I'm not about that. Like, give me a tree, give me some nature, give me something to meditate on, express gratitude. And those are my people. And so that's kind of what I'm guessing this is like, correct?
Yes. Yeah. You described it great, Megan. Seriously. It's a place where people can come in and get acceptance. Whatever you're bringing to the table as far as your spiritual identity or your spiritual practice and what you want to grow from that. And what I find is that people really out there are identifying themselves as spiritual, but not religious. So they have something they're connected to, or they want to be connected to something. They just don't know exactly what it is yet. And so the community is there to say, hey, I know someone that if you want to learn Reiki, okay, here's someone that can teach you Reiki. Or I really want to learn about meditation. Great. We have these teachers and I know that they're great because, we've talked to them, we've worked with them, we've vetted them to see what their practices are. And we brought them in so that people can really have a good foundation to explore. Because part of the spiritual journey is learning, but then also practicing. And you need to have the tools to do that.
Now, before we get into the 5 pillars of Traveling Soul Sanctuary, because I know that's there, but for anyone that's watching this interview that doesn't know you, I know you told me what brought you to this journey, but you've had such a unique path in terms of your talents. So talk to me a little bit about that. We know each other because it started off as my psychic, and then we became really good friends, and now you're my therapist, motivational coach. But tell everyone else that journey of the talents that you have.
Yeah, well, thanks. So I'd love to start with this story because my mother, who I call the saint, practicing Catholic, still with us today, at 86 years old almost. We went up to Salem, Massachusetts. And if any of you know or don't know what Salem is, it's known as Witch City. So there's tarot card readers and witches and all kinds of culture and ancestry there about witchcraft. So we went into a store and my mother said, I'm going to buy you a deck of tarot cards. It'll be something like you'll play with for a while. And then, whatever happens. And that went on to this day so far still, many years later. So, and in that journey of working with the tarot cards, it just brought me into this whole different spiritual worlds where I learned astrology and mediumship. So I talked to the dead. I became an ordained minister, and just really wanted to get my grounding in understanding the spiritual, but also the practical. So that's been a lot of my work over the years, is to help people kind of bridge those two things. Because sometimes you don't understand why things are happening, and there's a spiritual explanation, but we want the practical, or vice versa. So we have to create that foundation.
Absolutely. And tell the story of how you discovered you were a medium. I remember you, or maybe it was just one particular, or maybe you've always had it, but
No, I know which story you're talking about. So I was working at a psychic store, Open Doors, and I had someone come in, and she sat down, and I was a tarot reader, just strictly a tarot reader. And I used to have my clients shuffle the cards and think about what they wanted to know. So while she was doing that, I could hear someone saying to me, "Tell her I'm here." And I was like, I looked out, outside the room. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. I don't know. And I ignore it. I kind of brush it off. And then I hear again, "Tell her I'm here." And I'm like, I say back kind of in my mind, like, "I don't know who you are, dude. I don't know what you're doing here." He said, "Listen, my name's Michael. And if you don't tell her I'm here, I'm going to be screaming in your ear this whole reading." And I was like, okay. So I looked at her and I said, "I know it's going to sound really weird." I said, "But there's this gentleman here that says he knows you. His name is Michael. Do you understand that?" And she looked at me and she went, "What?" And I heard him say, "Tell her I'm her husband." And I said, "It's your husband?" And she just burst into tears. And I was like, and she said, "That's why I'm here. And I want to understand what's going on." And at the same time, they were like, with the son. So she had questions about her son, and he was there to talk to her about it. So I was this, go between, and I'm exhausted by the end of it. Right.
Sure.
So so she leaves, and a friend of mine who was starting her shift as a medium, she came down the stairs, and I said, "Oh, hey, like, I just had this experience. I don't know what's going on." And I explained what happened. And she said, "Oh, honey, you're a medium. Don't worry about it. Here's my teacher's name and her phone number. Call her." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" I'm sorry, what? Who? Like, but she was right. And that was over 20 years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible. That story gives me chills every time, because to just like be the the communicator, to be that messenger, that's the word I was looking for, through that is so important. So needless to say, throughout this whole journey and your experiences and with tarot and mediumship and astrology, it's kind of led you into this path of, the unknown, and the let's collectively kind of create this bond of all of us kind of traveling. I don't want to say lost souls, but some of us are lost too. But there are 5 pillars that you've created with this. Walk me through those.
So the first one is acceptance. So we want anybody to join us in their practice or their questions at events to, connect with people and to feel like what they bring to the table is important and valued and cherished. And then we have the community piece, which is all about bringing folks together, having community talks, community dinners. And really, when you have a community, they say it takes, a village. It takes people to make things happen. Well, we want you to have the support of that. So I almost want to call a community like, "Hey, I know a guy." You know what I mean? Like, "I know a guy that we can help you. Don't worry." And then, of course, education. Some folks don't know where to look. There may be like, "I have this feeling and I don't know what it is." And then we can say, "Well, we have these books or these classes or these talks that will help you." Resources, of course, if folks need to connect with other people or need to connect with social services, or again, it's a little bit more of, "I know a guy. This is how can we connect you into places that can help you overall if you're really in a tough place." And then services from our people that are there. So if you want a tarot reading, if you want a mediumship reading, you want a wedding performed, you have a service that you'd like, we'll be able to do those type of things for folks that just want to gather together and celebrate something.
That is awesome. Now, Is this mainly happening online? Is there a place where you can go? Where are we at with that?
So mostly online right now. But I do have space in Winchester, Massachusetts. So we'll have some limited events there, but fingers crossed that we get the building at some point and then that'll be there. But that's TBD. So
We will manifest that. We
yes,
will manifest
manifesting it. Yes, exactly.
that is so amazing. So where can people go to learn more and to get involved?
Yes. So they can reach out at the Traveling Souls Sanctuary.com. And that's the Traveling Souls Sanctuary.com. We have information there for you, and then you can always reach out through email there too.
Fantastic. Well, I'm excited for this journey for you and for everybody. And I just really feel like it's going to be home to so many people that have been looking for a place to call home, and they haven't been quite able to find it within this crazy world universe that we're in. So
I think the main thing is that the community is going to make it what it is. And so we need people involved in participating so it can grow, I think, in the really beautiful ways that it has the potential to do.
amazing. And also on social media too, right?
Yes.
Traveling Soul Sanctuary on Instagram and Facebook.
And TikTok. Yes,
And
ma'am.
TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok. I love it. I love it. At least get on there while we can, right?
Right.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thanks for enlightening me.
Yeah. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you for listening to the Traveling Souls Sanctuary podcast. We hope you found this episode informative and inspiring. If you did, please share it with your friends and family. And of course, like and subscribe. You can find us on our website at www.thetravelingsoulssanctuary.com and connect with us on all social media platforms. Until next time, may you find peace and joy on your spiritual path. And remember, you are magic.